Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Graniterock's Product Knowledge Seminar. My name is Jackie Serrano, and I will be your host today. For today's seminar, we have a very special guest who is an expert in the world of porcelain pavers. We hope you're all as excited and ready to learn as we are. For everyone's information, we will be recording this session to grant replay access to those who are unable to join our live event today. Before we get started, we ask everyone to please keep yourself muted and camera turned off. The chat is open, so we encourage questions or comments throughout the meeting. If you happen to have a question, please add it to the chat section and we will try to answer them as soon as possible. I will now hand it off to Victor.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Victor Viramontes with MSI. First off, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join us today in a product knowledge seminar on our Artera porcelain pavers. Before I start, a little bit of a backstory. Here are owners Rika and Manu Shah. They founded this company in 1975 out of their basement in Indiana. As the business continued to expand, their sons Roop and Raj joined in the management team as co-presidents. Our mission here at MSI is to provide a diverse assortment of affordable and accessible products. With our continual geographical expansion, we have the unique ability to source and stock whatever you, as the customer wants and needs when you need it. A ton of partner support and our commitment to your success is our strong force. So we currently have 37 distribution centers throughout the United States. We are proud to say that we have these centers in all major import cities across the country. We have more coming soon. Las Vegas, Nevada broke ground, Salt Lake City, San Antonio, Texas, Savannah, Georgia, and more to come. So today we're going to talk about Artera premium porcelain pavers. What are premium porcelain pavers? They are MSI's innovative hardscape product that allows an exterior natural stone look with the benefits of porcelain. What are these benefits? Premium porcelain pavers, they're very low maintenance. They are stain resistant. They are UV resistant, freeze thaw resistant, and slip resistant. I'll go into details here on the slip resistance. So DCOF is the dynamic coefficient of friction, which is the measurement that determines how much friction there is on a wet level floor when it's walked upon. This helps us determine the likelihood of whether a tile can contribute to someone slipping or falling. Industry standard of DCOF is 0.0, and our porcelain pavers range from 0.64 to a 0.86. We offer a residential lifetime warranty and a 10-year commercial warranty, which I have available for you guys. I can send emails separately. An advantage that we have on this product is how we package it. Our porcelain pavers are in a waxed plastic box, and the pallets are wrapped in heavy-duty plastic, which allows you guys to store these outdoors, and high-stack pallets. So ways to install. Most commonly known way to install is a sand set, amongst others. So for sand setting, you would excavate 4 to 6 inches of your base and then compact your soil, add your geotextile fabric, and slope away the compacted sand from the building.
Hey Victor,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. When you were giving those coefficient numbers, you I garbled a little bit. Can you go back and just reiterate what the standard numbers are and what yours are, please? Thanks.
Yeah. So the standard industry standard is a 0.42 dynamic coefficient of friction. Same as which is the same as travertine. Sorry. And then our porcelain pavers range from 0.64 to 0.86. We do have a spec sheet available which tells you for each individual color what that is. I can send them to you separately as well. So back to installation, you can also grass set it, which we did on our outdoor display, which I will get into later. You can also mortar set these. And best for rooftop installations and deckings, you can do this on a pedestal system. We always recommend linear draining or large format tiles especially. And always remember to slope and away from the building. So Artera Go Big. In 2018, we started with 2 sizes, and we currently now have 12. And they range from 24 by 24 all the way to a 24 by 48, which is a large format paver that is really trending in the market right now. You could also install these vertically in a pattern. This is one of the patterns that we have, a 12 by 12, 12 by 24, and 24 by 24. You can definitely install these vertically as long as you use a large format tile thin set. And then this is our jumbo pattern with 12 by 24 being the smallest, and it goes all the way to 12 by 48. The patterns consist of 12 by 24, as I said, 24 by 24, and a 12 by 12 in 8 square feet increments. We also have the jumbo patterns that are sold by full pallet only of a 12 by 12 with 4, 24 by 24, 24 by 36, and 24 by 48. That jumbo pattern is 192 square feet per pattern. Artera porcelain pavers also come with coordinating copings. Notice the fact that I say the word coordinating because anytime you glaze or bake a tile, it's subject to variation due to changes in humidity, temperature, concentration in the raw materials. So that's why we like to emphasize the word coordinating. On the left, you see our Vulcanero 24 by 24 with its 13 by 24 coping around the pool. And on the right, you see our Praia Carrera, also with its coordinating coping. Now, copings are, most commonly known as bull-nosed finishes. We are seeing a more and more of a trend into the eased edge finish. So for all the Artera products that were introduced in 2021 and beyond, their copings are going to come in the east edge finish as well. There's other ways you can do your edge details. This is a miter edge laminate. So what we did is we cut a 24 by 24 and had someone miter it and laminate it for us. You can see we did looks like a 2-inch and a 3 cm version of that. And unfortunately, it was dropped. You can see the little chip there on the left there. But they turned out pretty good. If you do choose to go this route, your fabricator must use an AB epoxy, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with and have at your stores. Another option for edge detailing is to use the bisque. So basically, they would just cut the 24 by 24, butt it up against each other, and you'll see the raw edges as the finish, which is totally doable, and it looks really, really nice. So now we're going to talk about more of our Artera products. This particular one has its LVT matching indoor tile. It's 2 wooden planks. They're 8 by 47s, Catella Ash and Fauna, and we do have the indoor LVT version of it. So indoor outdoor is kind of what we are starting to trend on. Another new introduction is our 3cm porcelain pavers. So these pavers are 24 by 24, and they also have their coordinating coping. They're 3cm, so super thick, super heavy, perfect for sand setting and paver and driveways. And they have a very high load bearing capacity. We actually installed the Nolaton Carbone on our outdoor hardscape project, which I'll show you guys in a bit. We have 4 new colors. These are 3. This is the Sereno collection. They come in a 24 by 24 and a large format 24 by 48 paver. They also come in the tile version for your indoor. So anytime, if you guys notice these little houses, anytime you see this house, that means that product, that particular Artera paver, has its indoor tile. So you can create seamless looks, and I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. Another new color that we have is a Trevi Silver. This mimics a travertine look with its veins going through it. Also in a 24 by 24 and a pattern with the new East Edge coping. Now, to go in hand with our porcelain pavers, we have developed a outdoor tile. It's R11 rated, which the DCOF of that is 0.42, which meets the industry standard and the travertine standard as well. It has a very high breaking point of 275 pounds of force. So this is definitely rated for outdoors. You can install this on the floor, on vertical walls. This is our Calypso series. We have Ash here, which is installed in our showroom. And we have Calypso. A picture of installed. We also have our Mavin series, so Mavin Talc, which has some pretty veins going through it, and a nice kind of aggregate. Mavin Ivory. You can see they went up the walls on this one too with the 24 by 48. And as well on the Mavin Gris here. So that's our new traction line. I have handboards for you guys to kind of go and show your customers. I can take to all your guys' stores and things like that. So just let me know if anyone needs samples. I can get samples as well. Here, I'm going to show you guys some pictures of our installed projects. This is Myra Ivory, somewhere nice around the world where I'd like to visit one day. Take a nice little vacation right there. What else we got? We have Ben Blanco. Here's Quartz White as well, installed. And then this is our new hardscape display in our Hayward showroom. So we're building about 6,000 square feet of entryway, which is a hardscape showroom in our Hayward location. So subliminally, we're kind of going to force our homeowners to experience a hardscape experience before they even enter our showroom. So that's going to kind of get their mind going, and just even if they're not, even if they don't come in here to do a hardscape project, they see it, they feel it, they touch it, and they get inspired to work on their hardscape project later on. This display is going to feature multiple fire pits. You can see we even did a linear drainage, like I talked about before. It will also feature multiple waterfalls. So it's going to be a great way for us to show our Artera porcelain pavers and all of our hardscape products all in one. As far as branches being able to show our products, we have displays available. They look like the picture on the right. I can always ship these to you, build them for you guys, anything you guys need. And we also have our brand new indoor-outdoor collection display as well. So this one is really nice because it has the 2cm paver and it has a 1/2-inch indoor tile all together, so the homeowners can see the difference and they can see the transitional looks like you see on the pictures there. And I want to also remind you guys that not only do we have Artera porcelain pavers, but we have a vast variety of products, including pebbles, fiberglass, natural stone. We just introduced turf into the market, so anything from your driveway to the backyard, we have the material and the product for you guys. I want to thank you guys so much. That's it for today. Thank you guys for joining, and I appreciate you guys' time. If you have any questions, I am all for it.
Thank you, Victor. Are there any questions? Oh, we have one here in the chat. What are the most popular colors? Sorry, it went away.
So we're constantly, our marketing team and product team is constantly looking at trends right now. Our most popular colors, I would say, the Bay Area would kind of be the Benton series, definitely. Benton Gray, Benton Anthracite, Benton Blanco. So the grays, the kind of clean concrete looks, the more industrial look is definitely the most popular. Quick note, we've actually, our evolution of sales. So in 2018, we sold about 600,000 square feet of Artera pavers. And currently, we have sold over 4 million square feet. So definitely Artera porcelain pavers or porcelain pavers in general are in the market for sure.
Prago, did you have a question?
No. Good to see you, Victor. Appreciate all the help.
Good. Looks like you're fishing.
Yeah, look at me.
Can we talk about the water and drainage again, please? Yes. So I'm gonna have actually Teresa help me on this one. She's been kind of in the background hearing, and yeah. So let's go back to the drainage slide really quick.
So with most of the people installing pavers, they're used to talking about a 6x9, a 6x6, at most a 6x12. Yes, the concrete industry has come out with the new 24/24 slabs. And anytime you get to something as long or as large as a 24/24, you want to consider how you're sloping the product, how you're sloping your subsoil from the building. So what we like to see is a linear drain works best. You can no longer take all those little pieces and take them to a center drain like we used to back in the day. Now we need to do a 2% slope away from the building, and oftentimes these linear drains look really good inside the cutout. You can actually cut out the porcelain paver, slide one of those in, and it looks nice and it keeps that modern look for you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Tips for cutting. So definitely porcelain blades all day. Wet saw cut as well. Anything else?
Yeah, it's really important to use a sharp porcelain blade when cutting this product. You need to move slow. When the product first came out back in 2018, we had a lot of chipping and a lot of confusion about how to handle this blade. Handle this product with the appropriate blade. Now, almost every blade manufacturer has a porcelain specific blade. So you do want to use that porcelain specific blade no matter which company you're using. They're all about the same. They all work really well. There's also additional products out in the market that can help you out on job sites. If you want to use a bullnose machine, they have handheld bullnose machines. I saw somebody at a job site that was using a grinder, and they were actually cutting it with a grinder. I was like, wow, that's unique. But, you know, it gets the job done, I guess. But yes, a high-end porcelain manufactured blade is what you want to use.
Hey, Victor, can you go back to those slides of like the different installations, and can you go a little more in depth into each one? Like, what's the difference between each one?
On the sand set and the The mortar set, those slides?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, no problem.
Let me go back here. Okay, so here's sand setting.
Okay, on a sand set installation, we actually sand set this product on the right-hand side here. What you want to do is you got to get down to your subsoil, as the same with any ICPI paver. So you're going to go 4 to 6 inches based on the soil conditions of the environment. You're then going to replace it with either class 2, 3/4 inch drain rock, however you want to word it. Not sure what Graniterock
I think
uses for that.
recycle or Virginia.
Yeah,
base.
and you want to compact in 2-inch lifts. It's very important that for a sand set material, base is your key. As with any foundation of the product is what's going to make sure the product does not fail. So you do your compaction, 2-inch lifts with a vibrating compactor. Then you're going to choose to use your geotextile fabric or not. That's optional. And then you're going to lay down your 1-inch sand base. You're going to want to screed that sand, sloping it again away from the building. And then you're going to want to set in your spacers. If it is a sand set, you must use a spacer. Some people are beginning to call these stabilizers. I still like spacer stabilizer. MSI has one, other people have one, doesn't matter, but you must use a spacer. It's going to have a 4mm tab on it, and it will keep the paver separated to give, which you are then going to fill with polymeric sand. Now, when you're filling with polymeric sand, make sure that you don't overfill and you follow the manufacturer's directions for whichever polymeric sand you're using. Should you get a film on top of the Artera pavers or any porcelain paver, it then becomes a situation where if you drop leaves or leaves drop, they will stain, but it's actually staining the top of the paver, not penetrating into the paver. So it's easily cleanable. The most easy cleaning for any of the porcelain pavers that I've seen out on the market is your barkeeper's friend and a nylon brush. But remember that these are less than 0.42% absorption rate. So nothing's actually absorbing into the paver. It's actually sitting on top of the paver, the surface of the paver. That means you can actually get it off. So that's for the sand set. The next slide is your mortar set, I believe.
Grass.
A grass set. So you can do grass sets in different ways. Basically, the base is the same. You still want to get your subsoil, go down to your subsoil, get your compacted base rock in there. Then what you're going to do is, when it comes to laying the paver themselves, in the case of the picture here at MSI, we actually went over a 4-inch concrete slab that we poured. Obviously, we let it cure for the appropriate number of days. People forget that they have to let concrete cure for the appropriate number of days before they actually install on top of it. Then we wet set or mortar set the pavers onto the concrete. Obviously, a measurement tool to make sure that they were all even. And then we actually applied the grass and we actually nailed the grass onto the concrete. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is if you're on a softscape and you're going to use regular sod. So basically, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to keep your sod down if it's existing sod, cut out your spots for the pavers themselves, apply a slurry, and actually wet set the pavers around the spots that you want, in the little holes that you've created. You can also, if it's a new installation, you can wet set the pavers first and then apply the sod, lay the sod into the strips that you want. And then, of course, when you're mowing the grass on a regular sod surface, you may have some issues depending on, if you didn't wet set them, you would have issues. If you wet set them, you should be fine. Make sure that obviously that your lawnmower is up high enough. And then the next slide is the mortar set. So on a mortar set, same thing. You're going to create your concrete base, and you're obviously going to excavate properly for a concrete base. Pour your concrete, let it cure for the right number of days, and then you're just going to simply lay out your thin set or mortar. Some people like to still mix mortar. Most people are using thin sets these days. You can thin set it using the appropriate trowel, and you're going to back butter the pavers as well. Set them in there. If you don't back butter, you can press them in, but you've got to make sure that you screeded and troweled your base properly. The key here, guys, is if there's air between the paver and the concrete, you're going to have problems. That's when something can break. As soon as you allow air to be in between, you've got to make sure that the mortar bed is thick enough that it's holding the entire paver flat against it. And I would use, again, a large and heavy tile mortar for this. And then your next slide is your pedestal system. So the pedestal system most often talked about, let's just all be honest, is bison. And I love it because it's easy. What you can do is you can lay the paver on the pedestal, and then you can actually move the whole pedestal for your variegating degrees of flatness or level. A pedestal system is an excellent option for a rooftop decking. There's also people that are using them on residential deckings for allowing them to pull the electrical lines and other lines underneath them, and then they're using it as for entertainment purposes. We recommend a fifth pedestal if you're not going to be using the pedestal tray that Bison now offers. These pedestals, I've seen them as high as 24, 36 inches. It's crazy. This is a more commercial type installation. There's a lot more details involved, and anytime somebody wants to do a pedestal system, we can get quotes, and they'll actually, all we need is your CAD drawings, and we can actually get exactly what it is that you need as far as the pedestals, the shims, what sizes, and all that. This is more of a one-on-one conversation, but more than willing to do. We have installed a lot of pedestal systems throughout the United States.
Teresa, looking at this picture makes me a little nervous. What's the weight resistance on that?
There is a weight resistance. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, and I knew as soon as I looked at this, you were going to ask me. I want to say 600 pounds. It's amazing how high it really is, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
There is a project in Oakland that we did almost 4,000 square feet on a rooftop deck, and they have tons of stuff up there. I can get that for you. I can pull that out. Each one I think we've tested each paver individually, so they're going to be different testings depending on which paver it is. But now with that new 3cm paver, that would solve any of these problems. With the 3cm paver, we're no longer asking for a tray or a center pedestal. You can actually just set them up there. And plus with the wind lift, you're fine. But all of our pavers have been accepted for a pedestal situation. And here's
1,250 pounds, 1,250.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really high.
And that's per tile, right?
1,250. I know. Let me just pull the specs really quick.
Per pedestal, it's calling for. So I think if the tile can handle it, I think the pedestals won't go anywhere.
Pedestals are definitely not going to go anywhere. No, the pedestals are not. I've only had one break in all the installations we've done, and it was determined that it broke because they placed a weightlifting set, a bar. It was the whole weightlifting with all the weights, and they dropped it. They didn't, when they moved it onto the deck, instead of sliding it or instead of setting it down gently, they actually dropped it. And it was on a 2424. So, but that's the only breakage I've heard so far. But this Napoleon collection, I don't have the testing data memorized on this one. I apologize. But it is at a 1 1/4 inch thick paver. Each paver weighs, I think it's
135 pounds.
135 divided by 2, so 68. I think it's 68 pounds per piece. The 3 CMs are 38 pounds per piece. So these are pretty hefty. Not going to want to install them, that's for sure. Any more questions?
Any questions, guys? Don't be shy.
If we could go back to the traction, this is a great new option to the porcelain world, let's just say. We're also comfortable and familiar with the concrete world. So overlays are becoming more and more of a trend. So with the traction collection, again, you can do that indoor-outdoor look that most high-end homes are going after with their open floor plans. This allows one look from the time you open your front door all the way through the back door, both interior and exterior. The traction line is a proprietary product that we created where we actually baked the slip resistance into the product itself. It's got an R11, which is a European definition of ratings, but you can actually feel it. It actually gets more traction when it gets wet. In this case, this is a unique product. It's available in 5 colors and both 12 by 24 and a 24 by 48. I think this is going to be game changing once it's out there. It's a brand new product, very little installed so far, but with the collection of colors, we went with both an earth tone and the gray, so we've got a warm and a cool tone color. I'm excited about this product. We will be using it on as part of our ADA compliance here at MSI, so that should be interesting. Let's flip through the colors. You have your ash, you got your graphite, and you can, that graphite holds, go back to the graphite. The graphite holds a little bit, it kind of looks like almost an open aggregate tile. And then you've got your more your calmer, has a little bit of veining, and your ivory. So it's a pretty nice, and your grease, of course, because gray is so popular. But it's a pretty nice collection. I truly invite you guys all to get samples of this, touch it, and get it out to your market. The architects will probably really like this one.
Any other questions you guys have for us?
All right, then I think that concludes our product knowledge seminar for today. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your participation. I hope it was of your liking. We also hope to see you all here Thursday, October 13th, to further expand your knowledge on Simpson strong ties. Our guest speaker will be Tom, same time as today, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Once again, I would like to thank Victor and Teresa for taking time to share their knowledge with us. That concludes today's product knowledge seminar. Be safe, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, guys.